jump off to another thing. It'd be great. Thank you. All right, and I'm going to share some slides for everybody. So welcome. First, let me start off by just thanking everyone for making the time for our two-part webinar series. And just a quick slide check. Are you all seeing that okay, Jason?
Yep.
Excellent. Wonderful. And I see Joseph's raising his hand. Joseph, we've disabled mic and chat and video just because we have a really tight agenda today, but I'll be sharing our contact information in case anyone needs to reach out or would like to follow up directly, have a meeting, a call, whatever you need. So thanks again for joining. It's not lost on me that so many folks are dealing with, kids learning from home and just in general, the extra demand placed on us during COVID-19. So thanks for being here. Thanks for making the time. And for those who registered but couldn't make it, we're recording this and we'll share that out. We're going to keep this fun. We always do here at Blackboard, and hope you all enjoy today's session, learn some things. So let's get it going. This is obviously just a quick intro slide, but I want to talk about Taborda and Blackboard. We've partnered in the state of California for 4 years now, which I can't believe. I guess since starting our relationship, I've had 2 kids, which is insane. And it's with great pleasure that today we're going to present to you our highly capable SaaS learning environment for the state of California. Our extensible and secure solutions have given us the ability to partner with CDT and CalHR on the Enterprise HR Initiative, which the main goal is to centralize all learning data for state employees that will follow them around throughout their state careers. So Blackboard is the largest learning company in the world with a really heavy focus on federal and state government agencies, given the product's natural fit in the space. And Taborda is Blackboard's value-added reseller in the state of California. They're local to Sacramento, and they've worked with almost every state department since their inception in 2006. And boasting state-specific training and HR products that integrate with Blackboard as well, in case you need to extend functionality to other areas of your organization. So today, you'll see our partnership includes the best-of-breed learning solutions and a superior understanding of California state government that will give agencies the flexibility needed to foster strong learning environments and continuous learning. So let's take a look at what we're going to be covering in these 2 sessions, both today and next Tuesday morning, same time. Today is our Blackboard overview for California government, which is going to be great for anyone who doesn't know Blackboard, doesn't work with us yet. I'm Tom Herman. I'm your senior account executive here at Blackboard, covering state and local West Territory. And I'm going to be talking about Blackboard at a high level, enterprise HR, and our solutions. Then I'll hand it off to Jason Don Forsyth, our senior e-learning solutions engineer, who will actually demonstrate the solution for you so you can see it live today, all the different elements. And for those of you who are Blackboard clients joining us again today, welcome. It's good to see so many names in here I recognize. And Jason's going to be sharing feature roadmap as well, so you'll hear a little bit about the newest and upcoming features. So you'll certainly have something to learn and take away from today's session. And then wrapping up today, we have co-presenting Brent Sivers and Joe Favreau. Brent from the CalHR, he's the CalLearns administrator, talking about the nominate module, and then Joe will demo that module for us. He's the VP of Client Services for Blackboard Registration and Management. Next week, when you guys come in at 9 a.m. on Tuesday again, we're going to hear from 4 more clients around the state, co-presenting with Joe Favreau once again. Melissa Glau from Department of Conservation talking about the contracts module. Mindy Van Egdon from the Department of Rehab talking about the delegate manager module. Boparai from the California Department of Child Support Services, talking about the 80/40/20/20 mandatory learning, mandatory training module and dashboard. And last but certainly not least, Debbie Fredericks from California Parks and Recreation, talking about our integration with Post. Again, Joe will be demoing those modules as well as a few others in development, like our on-the-job training module and our future integration with the CalHR catalog, which will make signing up for CalHR courses so much easier. So really looking forward to that. And then Nick Wachowski, Customer Success Advocate here at Blackboard. If you're a client, you've worked with him. Nick will be talking a little bit about the CalGov user community, how you all as a client of Blackboard can access each other and resources using this community. So most of you probably know Blackboard through our support of the lifelong learner, whether you used us in college or after. Blackboard's the largest learning company in the world, supporting over 19,000 clients in 90 plus countries, from K-12 institutions all the way up through adult learning in the corporate and government setting. But Blackboard supports the federal government with our teaching and learning solutions, the Department of Defense, our largest client in that space being the Army, with over 1 million learners supported. And it's my personal pleasure to say that in less than 4 years, Blackboard has grown to support over a dozen departments in the state of California, many of which you can see right here. And we are very committed to deepening that relationship with the state and extending, learning and creating greater efficiencies for all of our clients. So why Blackboard? Well, first, why so many departments are choosing Blackboard as their enterprise LMS, I think it's for mainly these 4 reasons. First, whether it's the state-specific solutions offered by Taborda Solutions that can extend our product offering, or the many tailored modules that we've added to our solution, registration and management, over the last 4 years. And you'll, again, learn a lot more about those California state additions next week and at the end of today's session with Brent from CalHR. But the end result is a California tailored solution that can optimize training and save money. Second, the Blackboard solution for California government includes an enterprise class LMS that can deliver training across all modalities. So whether it's organizing an in-person training, delivering a self-paced course online, which we've had to do, especially during COVID, hosting a synchronous training webinar, or having a blended course format that incorporates some self-paced learning as well as some synchronous webinar training. The capabilities of our technical solution are then rounded out by our in-house services that the Blackboard team can provide during implementation, which have been crucial to the success of our California clients. So many vendors, including our competition, outsource their services to integrators, and that can often lead to extended implementations and costing clients more money. Third is inclusive, accessible learning, which is a central focus here at Blackboard. Our comprehensive approach to accessibility is internationally recognized, and Blackboard also offers Ally. And that is a revolutionary product that focuses on making digital content more accessible for all users with cognitive disabilities. So Ally audits content against web content accessibility guideline standards using inclusivity, sustainability, and automation as its key pillars. And then fourth, and why so many of you are here to learn about this, is the VHSS. If you're not familiar, it stands for Vendor Hosted Subscription Service, and it is the Department of Technology's interagency purchasing vehicle used as part of the training integration effort within California State to ensure that users are able to complete required training, and then the status of that training be relayed to CalHR's enterprise HR platform. So there is now something called a unique identifier used within the CalHR system called the Unique Employee ID, or UEID. And this ID has been generated for each user within the CalHR system, and then that can help track an employee's mandatory training throughout their career within the state, even if they're jumping between departments throughout that career. And for more information, you can visit CalHR's website. So what is the solution? What Jason's going to be showing you in a moment are the following elements. And I like to break them out to show you the broad capabilities that Blackboard brings to our state clients. First, you have registration and management, which will act as a system of record for all of your training, transcripts. Users can access and track their own training. Admins can track their direct reports. There's course catalog features here for self-enrollment, or there's other automation tools to help you, based on job roles, automatically enroll users into learning paths and help users maintain their mandatory training. And then there's Learn. Learn is, as Jason always says, our senior solutions engineer, where the rubber meets the road, where you can use the Blackboard authoring tools to completely author online self-paced courses, manage that content, and make sure your users are getting what they need. And then Ally lives within Learn and helps to make your content more accessible. And it does this by auditing your content, giving feedback to make that content more accessible. It also offers up content in alternative formats like semantic HTML, EPUB, audio, electronic braille, and not to mention now, this slide's even outdated, it's 60 plus languages it can translate your documents into and save your team a lot of time when developing content. And then Collaborate, which we're in today. Again, we've disabled mics and video because we have a tight agenda, but Collaborate is designed for online teaching and learning and is deeply integrated into Learn. And you'll hear more about all these features from Jason in just a moment. Now, Taborda also offers HR as a service and Train. HR as a service solution contains the standard forms for most HR processes in the state in one intuitive application. So an individual filing a form might be asked a series of simple questions, and that can lead to a dynamically built form and workflow, making each form session unique and tailored to the specific needs of that filer. HR as a service ensures the filer fills out the form accurately and completely every time. And really, this is going to help eliminate those days of printing and physically routing forms for signature and submittal. And then Train works very similarly and is used by a couple departments in the state already, and is used for automating the external training request workflow. Many of you know that as the Form 1090. So thanks to our partners at Taborda. And if you'd like to see these features in more depth, please reach out. And again, we'll be posting our information. So now I'm going to pass it over to Jason, and we're going to take a look at a journey of Laura Alexander, a new hired employee at your department. Laura will need to take some mandatory and job-specific training that your subject matter experts developed using the Blackboard authoring tools. And Laura can be automatically enrolled into learning paths based on her job role, or she can search a catalog, register herself, take the training, track her progress all the way to completion and a certificate. So Jason, I'll throw it over to you, my friend.
All righty, everyone. So let's go ahead and jump in and we'll take a look at the solution. Not a blank whiteboard. Let me go ahead and share out my screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to start where everything starts, and that's in the Blackboard solution. So we're looking at Blackboard, the learning management system here. It's a highly configurable, highly brandable solution. So it's also built on responsive design, which means no matter what device you come from, you're going to get that same user experience with no cut down functionality. It's also highly brandable, so put up a brand here, but the nice thing is you can have multiple brands if you want. So you can have different looks and feels within the same environment. Now, the first thing that a user will probably do is sign up for a course. So we're looking at a self-service model here. The Blackboard solution certainly can handle a top-down model where you control all of it, but we want to demonstrate what it would be like for a user to navigate to their own learning experience. So first thing they would do is come in to the learner dashboard. So when they come into the learner dashboard, this is where they can see everything that's going on. So they can see their active courses, and we don't have any because we're not enrolled in anything yet. We'll change that. They can see their completed courses, able to download their certificates. You're able to align competencies to different groups and course offerings so they can work towards a proficiency skill set. And you can also have multiple courses strung together into a learning pathway for a greater certification. Your pending courses area would be where you would have courses that you might be on a wait list, or it might require a manager's approval. So you're going to make sure that you keep track of those. Now, coming up this left side, there's a couple of options for the learner. They can upload an external file. So if there is a form that is required for them to be able to take part in a training, they can upload that, and then that can be approved by a manager or an administrator. They can also view their transcript, so they're able to see a record of everything they've completed online and download that as well. They can withdraw from a course if they no longer need it. They can request credit for something that happened outside of the learning environment. So after this is over, if we go back to a hybrid model where there's some face-to-face instruction, maybe they want that reflected in the online platform so they can request credit and supply the necessary information. But a lot of what they're going to be doing is registering for a course. So they can certainly search for a course. Again, when we go back to maybe face-to-face hybrid model, they're able to select training locations, searching by a particular skill set, searching within a date range, and then also being able to categorize your courses. So if I drop down into here, we've got a small selection of courses. Any course I see, I can click on it and get more information, descriptions that can include links and videos, prerequisite courses, required documentation, maybe recommendations and aligned competencies, and if it's a part of a given learning path. Now I can register for these, and it's very much like an online e-commerce experience. This one you can see there are no seats available, so I'm going to be added to a wait list for this particular offering. And then this is that learning pathway where we've got multiple courses strung together to be able to get that higher certification. Once I've done that, I can certainly go to my checkout, and I can either pay for a course, so we do integrate with multiple pay systems, or I can go in and just confirm because these are no-cost courses. Once I'm enrolled in these, I will get email notifications automatically from the system about my enrollment, and then I can go to my dashboard and see that there's been change here. Now I've got courses that I'm enrolled in. I can see some of the progress because I haven't really started anything. I'm in a learning path down here, and then I've got a pending course because I'm waitlisted on that course. So I have not been approved to start taking it. And that's where you can also see in this learning path, I can see 2 in progress, but I haven't started there. So that's a little bit about that self-service model of going in and registering for a course offering. Now let's go through and explore some of the other areas of the learning management system. You're going to have your user page. This is often supplied by the HR system through an integration, populating this information. You can make it editable or non-editable as well. We do language support, so people can choose the language that they would like the learning management system to display the user interface. So if we would like to have Spanish as our configuration, we can do that. And then all of the navigation elements will be in Spanish. You can determine also which languages are offered. If we come down to the activity stream, this is an aggregator for the learner, so it shows them everything going on. If they took an assessment and they want to see their score, they can see that. If there's new content, they'll be able to see that new content or a new course offering. And then also we start to pin things. So if there is something that's past due, we'll pin it at the top so they know it's important. We can also let them filter that information, so they can choose what shows up in their stream, they can choose what shows up in their email notifications, and they can also choose what generates a push notification if they're leveraging our mobile apps. Now, if you have a fully responsive design, why do you need a mobile app? Primary use case there is for offline access. So a learner knows they're going to go into an area that does not have internet connectivity, and then they're going to go and download sections of their courses so they can interact with them when they're offline. I will come back to courses and departments, but I want to finish off these different areas. There is an enterprise level calendar. This shows you everything, your obligations as a learner. We can also filter it by due dates, so I can just see my obligations for things I need to engage with. There's a full internal messaging solution to be able to communicate back and forth between users using text and rich media options. A learner is always interested in their work, so they can see easily in one place all of the work that they've done, what the results are, what the status is of different things that they're working on. Maybe they have a draft saved, maybe they've submitted something, or they haven't even looked at it. And again, we highlight things that are past due so they know that they should take action on it. Down here, we have the tools area. This will look a little different depending on what tools you choose to leverage from Blackboard. But we provide you with storage in addition to allowing you to integrate with cloud repositories so you can organize your content and deploy it to courses. There's a full ePortfolio solution allowing you to collect evidences of what you've accomplished in the system and then publish those as a standalone website. And then if you want to take a standards approach to instruction and align your content to standards or goals, and then run performance evaluations off of that, you can certainly do so. So let's come back up to the courses area. I'm going to drop into one of these so you can take a look at it. So this is the course experience. It's very easy to navigate. I can see my instructor, contact them very easily. I can see a list of everyone inside of the platform in this course offering. Also important to note here, Blackboard is a role-driven system. In your organization, you're going to have a hierarchy. You're going to want to segment your users and make sure that only the correct people have access to the data that they should. We provide you with a set number of roles, things like administrator, instructor, and learner, but we also provide you with the flexibility to create all of your own roles with over 450 individual permissions. And what this really allows you to do is create a hierarchy where you have an instructor, but maybe you have a non-editing instructor that's learning the ropes, and then maybe you've got people higher up the organization that don't want to take part in any instruction, but they just want to be able to access and evaluate the learning that's going on. So you do have a lot of options there in terms of creating your hierarchy. Now, Blackboard Collaborate, where we're meeting right now, is tightly integrated into the system, making it very easy to move from a synchronous to an asynchronous experience. So with a single click, I can load in and be in one of these Collaborate rooms. So I can move back and forth very easily. Now I want to take a little bit of time and explore Collaborate, but what I want to do is do it with a couple of users in there. It makes it a little bit more of an experience when you've got users. So this is the Collaborate experience. Now this is entirely browser based, which means there's no installables. You noticed that today when you came in that you didn't have to install anything. And that makes it really easy to access. It also takes away the burden of hardware fleet management and making sure everyone's app is up to date. So what we're looking at right now is a tiled view, but we can also change through a couple of different views, whether we want to highlight a speaker or maybe we want to do a gallery view where we've got a lot of users on at the same time. So you've got a lot of different options on how you want to present that. Again, sometimes this is distracting to have this many, so if you want to, you can reduce the number of users and then increase them as well. If you have more than 25 users, you will start to have different pages of users that you can move back and forth between. So allows you a lot of options in terms of how you want to use your Collaborate room. Now, it's also designed to be easy to use, so it's very easy to navigate. We can easily start a recording right here. We can stream these recordings or download them. If you download them, it's an MP4 format, then you can edit it and do whatever you want with it. You also have telephone integration for folks who don't want to or can't use the microphone on their computer. You've also got the ability for feedback, and I'll show you that in just a second, how it's used. Camera, microphone, raising your hand to get the attention of the instructor or facilitator. And then down here at the right, you've got your Collaborate panel. So your Collaborate panel allows you to chat back and forth inside of the system. But this is also where we can start to see the differences between a Collaborate or a Zoom or a WebEx or a Teams. And the difference really is Collaborate is designed to deliver instruction. And to that end, you've got multiple chat channels. So you can chat with everybody, but if you're co-facilitating an event, you need a back channel. And then you can also choose to allow private chats between users, but also monitor those private chats as an administrator. Now, your attendees list shows everybody inside of the platform, and this is another area where we start to see an instructional model rather than a meeting model. In most meetings, there's one person who called the meeting and everybody else has the same permissions. It's a little bit different inside of a Collaborate, is that you have multiple roles inside of here. So you've got participants, those are your lowest levels of permissions. Like everybody in here today, we've got your microphones and your chat cut off. Because like Tom said, we have to move pretty quickly through this hour. But that is also an instructional tool. If I need to have people come in, sit down, and not interrupt for the first 10 minutes, I can choose to turn all of that off inside of the system. We've also got instructional tools like sharing out blank whiteboards. So I can share out a blank whiteboard if I want to. Give you some hard math here. But then I can combine it with things like polling and say, hey, does everybody understand the equation that we just put on the board? And then people can start voting in real time and I can see it. And if I have my attendees here, I can see exactly how they voted. The nice thing also, if you leverage the poll system, is all of that's available in a Excel spreadsheet after the meeting. So you can see how people voted. Now, sharing application and screen, that's what I'm doing right now to present this information to you. We did see how Collaborate can have many cameras going at once, but sometimes that's distracting. Maybe I want all eyes on me. So then I can use the share camera functionality to pin myself as the large screen inside of the system. I can also choose to share files. So I can have PowerPoint, PDF, or image files in here. And the nice thing about this content is that it's persistent, which means you can set up your room well ahead of time and have that file-based content in there all the time. So if you're delivering the same trainings over and over again, it's nice to be able to have your room set up so you don't have to keep recreating the wheel every single time you create a meeting. And then finally, you've got breakout groups, allowing you to split your users into smaller groups for one-on-ones or small group projects inside of the system. And then you've got your My Settings area. This is where you set up your avatar. This is where you set up your camera and microphone if you have multiple options on your device. This is also where you choose to show how you want to be notified of different events inside of the meeting. And then you've got your session settings, another way to control what goes on inside of here. So we can shut off everything for permissions for participants if we want to. We can also choose to only show moderator profile pictures if we're worried about inappropriate avatar use. And finally, down here, we do have an AI chat support. Allows you to ask basic questions about Collaborate functionality and then be able to get that answer and help that you need. Final thing about Collaborate before we continue on with the learning management system is that you also have the ability to have up to 500 users inside of a single meeting, and we're looking to push that to 1,000 near the end or mid of summer. So definitely can handle a large form meeting. So that's a little bit about the Collaborate solution. Another really nice feature is that its integration into the learning management system includes automated attendance tracking. So for these large meetings, if you have 100 to 150 people, it's very hard sometimes to keep track of who was in the meeting. So you're able to go back and look at a visual report, but you can also choose to have it automatically report attendance to the gradebook if you choose to do so. So a nice integration feature there as well. So let's take a look at some of the content inside of the course area. I'll expand this particular learning module here, and we can see some of the different elements inside of the platform. So using things like discussion forums to have conversations back and forth inside of the platform. You can also use pages to be able to display content. This can be visual content, textual, audio, multimedia, but you choose what content you want, mix and match it if you want to as well. There's a full assessment engine inside of the platform, allowing you to create quizzes and knowledge checks inside of there, as well as integrations into third-party platforms. So you can leverage third-party tools like H5P and those other tools that you're using in online learning. We certainly support SCORM packages, so the ability to upload SCORM packages that you've created in a third-party system absolutely is supported. You also have the ability to do assignments where it might need feedback. So if this is someone presenting written work or let's say a plan of action, you can have them submit it and then you can mark it up and provide feedback to them, both visual and multimedia as well. You can certainly link out to third-party courses, third-party platforms if you have information that you want your learners to engage with there. So that's a little bit about some of the different forms of content inside of the platform. Now, I want to also highlight what Tom was talking about with our ally system. So like he said, this is designed for content accessibility. The platform we provide you is going to be compliant. We are constantly third-party auditing our platform. So we take accessibility very seriously. It's not the platform that's really the issue, it's what you stuff the platform with. So to that end, what we do is we have the ally system. So if I take a PDF like this, and this is a scanned PDF, this is the worst thing you could put on a platform. It's a non-starter, complete blank page for someone who's using augmentative devices to engage. So what we do is we create alternative formats inside of there. So we're going to take that scanned PDF, we're going to do an optical character recognition scan and create an accessible document from an inaccessible one. Clean HTML, which is great for mobile devices, but it's also great if you're developing courses. Someone hands you a PDF that you need to have up there, you go put it through Ally, grab the HTML, and then stick the HTML into the course. EPUB to leverage on iPad, all of the accessibility functionality there, including font size manipulation, contrast, note-taking. Electronic Braille, if you've ever worked with this, you know it's a long process and can be time-consuming and expensive. So we do it automatically on the fly. Audio MP3 for someone who would rather listen to a topic than read it. Beeline Reader for people with cognitive reading disabilities, colorizes the text and makes them a more effective reader. And then, like Tom said, translation into over 60 different languages. So you can upload a document in English and someone could download it in Farsi if they wanted to. So really nice tool. And one of the things I like is that this is no extra burden to who's developing your courses. The Ally system works automatically. And the other thing I like about it is that your learners don't have to ask for accommodation. Sometimes there's a stigma attached to that, but not with this. They get those formats automatically inside of the system. So before I move to roadmap, just quickly want to log back in as a course facilitator, let you see what it looks like from their side. So coming into the same course experience looks very similar. I might have things that I'm working on that are hidden from the learners, but I can lock my course. I've got more options in Collaborate, including getting guest links if I have someone I want come talk to my learners, being able to post announcements, being able to enter a learner preview so I can preview my content and make sure it's working the way I want, being able to pull content from my content collection, grabbing it from cloud storage. If we're leveraging third-party solutions, we can start to grab that content from there. We can upload our content directly from our device, copy content from another course offering so we don't have to recreate the wheel. And then we've got those native building tools. Learning modules for sequential learning, folders and documents, really the workhorse of the LMS for displaying, linking out to third-party tools, integrating third-party tools with LTI, uploading your authored SCORM packages, using our native assessment engines, and then also creating social engagement using our discussion forums and our journaling tool. So this is just a little bit of a brief overview of what it looks like for a learner and an instructor or a facilitator. We also do have integrated analytics, so you'll see them at multiple levels. This is at the content level, showing open rates versus participation rates inside of here. But we've also got analytics at the environment level, something called Blackboard data, which is a data lake. It's going to allow you to create those longitudinal looks at your content and make sure everything is performing and you're getting that return on investment from your platform. So with that, what I'm going to do is I am going to hop back and we're going to start taking a look at some of the stuff that has come to Blackboard and some of the things that are coming to Blackboard. So let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen and I'll bring that deck back up. Let me bring it all the way down here. Here we go. All right. So this is the obligatory, don't get mad at me if things change before they come out because they're still in development. So there we go. Don't get mad at me if things change. So some of the stuff that has come already. For some of you who use Blackboard, you know we have two course experiences, the original course experience and what we're calling the ultra course experience. The original course experience did get an update to the content editor. It's a much more robust platform. I like the new options and the layout is much more intuitive. We're also working on Apple Watch. So if you're an Apple Watch person, you're going to be able to interacting with the Blackboard environment through your Apple Watch. We've also got an Alexa skill that's already out there, so you can leverage that on your Alexa. So for Collaborate, we got a couple of things coming. There's going to be a new whiteboard coming. It's going to increase a lot of functionality, bring persistent content to the whiteboard. So we're really excited about that. A lot of new features that are going to be coming to that whiteboard solution. I touched on this. We're targeted for July to have 1,000 users in a session, so really large sessions inside of there. Chat mentions, this is something that we've added. If you start with an @ sign, especially in these larger meetings, you want to make sure that people know that you're speaking to them, so it'll highlight them and you can select them inside of there. And then the video gallery progress. This was something that was really requested in Collaborate. We've brought it now. We're going to continue to refine that. We want to work on pinning for people to be able to pin a sign language person in front of there. So there are new views that are going to be coming out for the Collaborate platform. So for the Ultra course experience, one of the biggest things coming out is HTML authoring on pages. So before we confined you to a WYSIWYG editor and people wanted to play with the HTML. So this is coming out soon. It's already available for certain beta users, and internally we've been testing it as well. Journals is going to get an upgrade to make it a little bit more able to be evaluated. So currently it's in its first iteration, but we're going to be introducing a refined workflow for that particular tool. Peer review assessments. This has been a big ask for people to be able to have peer review assessments, and peers give feedback on assessment submissions. So this is coming. We've got a first iteration that's probably coming in the next couple of months. This has actually just been released. So this is conditional availability by users and groups. Before, it was restricted to date and time and performance on a given object, but now you're going to be able to release content to specific users and groups within the Ultra course experience. Now, these next couple of ones are conceptual drawings. These are what we're looking at to revamp the Ultra course overview. So a lot of people wanted the ability to customize it, to add banners, to have top-level analytics. So being able to see obligations right at that top level without having to drill in. So this is a conceptual mock-up of what that new course experience is going to look like inside of the platform. But I'm really excited about all that top-level information inside of there. And then also for a student, this is going to be more information where they can see different deadlines in terms of what is going to be, discussions that are done, have a little bit of time left, assignments that are coming up, the announcements right here instead of having to look up them, and then different course details, recordings. So again, just a lot of good information there at the top level. And then we're also adding in progress tracking. We have it for our learning modules, but we want to increase it and be able to track and bookmark items inside the platform. And for instructors, also being able to track that information a little bit better in terms of what the learners are doing inside of the platform. So finally, these are the first half of 2021 and our targets. These ones that are circled in red, like course progress and group working space and learning paths, these are all things that we're pretty confident we're going to be able to deliver on in the remaining half of the year. But this just gives you an idea of kind of what our strategy is, what we're concentrating on going forward inside of the platform. So definitely some exciting stuff coming up inside of Blackboard, and we'll be providing more information as these come to fruition. So that's been an overview of the Blackboard solution, as well as any of the upcoming features. So I hope you find this exciting. I'm certainly excited about it. So with that, I think I will go ahead and toss the ball over to Brent, and to maybe Tom will do a transition here, or Brent's going to go. We're going straight into Brent.
Whatever you want. I'm happy to take it. But Tom, if you need to talk, I'll let you talk. I'm just excited about all these features. As a state employee, that seems pretty cool to me. But do you want me to take it, Tom?
Take it over, Brent.
Okay. Well, as Tom and as Jason said, thank you, Jason, for that. My name is Brent Sivers. So I'm formerly the Learning Management System Administrator at the Department of General Services, California Procurement and Contracting Academy. And now I'm the Cal Learns Administrator for the California Department of Human Resources. I've had many opportunities to work with Blackboard's learning management system as an e-learning system administrator. The Blackboard learning solution was adopted by CalHR in January of 2019. It was chosen for its flexibility in content delivery and ease of use. It continues to be a successful e-learning platform, allowing many state California departments, as we saw in that graphic, to be able to continue with their training efforts despite all of the setbacks of this last year's pandemic. It's been hard for a lot of us, and Blackboard understands that struggle, which is great. It's very important to state agencies that we partner with vendors who can keep up and adapt with our ever-changing needs. Now, working with Blackboard project managers and support resources while at DGS and now at CalHR, I can honestly say they've been always willing to help us succeed, which is great. As we've solved many challenges together, most recently, Blackboard was able to quickly provide a solution for a specific need here at CalHR, the nominate module. The former registration system that we were using here at CalHR, known as eReg, used a similar workflow for managing enrollments, and we wanted to migrate and improve the process with Blackboard. So this module was designed for CalHR to enable training coordinators from each agency to enroll their learners into approved CalHR courses on their employees' behalf. This streamlines the training coordinator's workflow and provides a one-stop area for managing the agency enrollments for CalHR courses. The Nominate module is also being used by the Department of Rehabilitation in a similar use case. Now, I appreciate the time that you've taken to meet with us here and to learn some of these features, and look forward to continually supporting the state's HR training here at CalHR. So I'll go ahead and pass the ball over to Joe Favreau to show us the nominate module. Take it away, Joe.
Thanks, Brent. Brent, my name is Joe. I work with Brent and a lot of the different agencies in California to help implement sort of a solution that works for each of the agencies. As Brent mentioned, as many of the agencies that we work with, there's usually some sort of unique flow that's maybe unique to the agency, but it's important to their business to be able to capture. As Brent mentioned, we did face that challenge when we were at CalHR. As we sat down and went through their use cases, we were replacing an existing system called eReg. And eReg had sort of this watered down kind of the ability to enroll users of their agency, but not give them basically full access to the system. So the way I kind of envisioned it, or kind of we designed it, is that it's sort of a watered down system admin role that training coordinators from each agency can take advantage of. So as you can imagine, each agency has sort of usually their own training system. And there's usually some sort of approval process internally that they go through to be able to take some of the CalHR courses. Once the agency approves it, usually there's some sort of delegate, some person called a training coordinator typically, who will then go over to the CalHR system and enroll their employees into the courses that were approved. So the way that's done now is the user will log into the CalHR system. As you see here, I have sort of a Blackboard test user. Now this user can come in and access their dashboard and see all the training that they're taking. They can also enroll into courses that they want to take, but this is where the nominate feature comes in. So there's an extra menu option on the CalHR system, CalLearns, to nominate employees from that agency. So it's a very simple workflow. It's almost like registering for the course yourself, except that you're allowed to do it on behalf of only the employees in your agency. So to access the fixture, you just click on the link on the far left-hand menu, and then you can choose which group you belong to. So in some cases, users may be training coordinators for 2 agencies. So you do have the luxury of being able to allow these training coordinators to be tied to multiple agencies if necessary. Now, if I choose this accountancy group, then you'll start to see the learners that make up that agency. So any of these employees, again, this is only showing the employees from this agency, I can enroll on behalf of them as a training coordinator. Now, if I'm interested, I can use this one person here, Lisa, and I can sort of see what her current catalog looks like. So we keep track of everybody in the system, what courses they're enrolled into. So as a training coordinator, I can see which courses are open to be registered or which ones they've already enrolled into. If it happens that it's a new employee at your agency, we also give you the ability to go ahead and add that employee to your list right here from the screen. Instead of having to go back, have that employee log in and create their account, you can do this on their behalf right here from the screen. So I can go ahead and put their username, first name, email address. This will add them as an employee to this agency, and now I can enroll them into courses on their behalf. Again, those emails will be sent out to that employee on their behalf. Now, if this new student I'm interested in wants to register for a course, I can just look at their catalog and go through the registration process. Now, we also tie into the CalHR Enterprise module. So these are important things we need to capture as part of their enrollment process. So maybe this is a job mandated course, and we can go ahead and confirm that right here. Once the person, you can actually add multiple courses. You'll see that it'll change the status here that it's in a cart. I may also want to enroll into other courses, so I can do multiple of these at the same time. So it really streamlines the workflow process instead of having to enroll, then confirm, and enroll, confirm. You can just create a cart of courses. And then when you're ready, you'll notice here on the far top hand right side, the shopping cart will show we have 2 courses that are ready to be confirmed. So if I'm happy with my options here, I can just confirm this. You'll notice here that these courses do require somebody to approve it. So here we'll go through, we'll enter in the name of the person that's going to do the approval process for you. I'll put in their email address and hit confirm. Once we're happy with this, we'll confirm this registration. These courses will be put into a pending state for this learner. Again, I can go back to the nominate module, choose this affiliation, find this Lisa person that we just used, and you'll see that these are now pending an enrollment for this course. This one required approval, whereas the active shooter course didn't require any approvals and the person is automatically enrolled. So again, this is a very easy to use flow. It allows training coordinators to go in and manage all the courses on a person's behalf. It's more of a watered down admin account, so it doesn't give you a lot of access, but just gives you access to within the agency that you're associated with. So again, very easy to use system. Again, this is a module that's available to all agencies. It can just be turned on or off. And as part of the core delivery, as Brent said, Department of Rehab also uses this in a little bit of a different flow, but it again accomplishes the exact same business use case. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Tom to finish up.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Brent. Really appreciate the speakers today. Jason, nice work. For next week, tune in again. You'll have the invitation and the link sent to you, and join us for the second session, which is going to be how Blackboard has grown to support California government. And specifically, it's going to be more of what you just saw with Brent and Joe, except we're going to hear from 4 other departments on different modules that have been added to the Blackboard registration and management to support state-specific workflows. So again, you see the Delegate Manager module with Mindy Van Egdon from Department of Rehab, similar to the Nominate module. You'll also hear from Melissa Glau around the Contracts module. Prab from DCSS with 80/40/2020. I imagine you're all very excited for that one. And Debbie from California Parks and Rec around our upcoming integration with POST. So if you have any law enforcement officers within your departments, this could be a real focus for you. But you're also going to hear a little bit more around the basics of what registration and management offers, the reporting available, as well as some roadmap items like on-the-job training module and integration with CalHR catalog. Last, Nick will close us down next week with a little bit about the CalGov user community. Some of you are already members of this community. It is run by our members. There are a lot of resources helpful for our clients, as well as being able to connect with each other and leverage other Blackboard experts from other departments to help you with your own initiatives. So if we have any questions, feel free to follow up with either Bear from Taborda Solutions. Her contact information is found here, as well as my contact information. Please don't hesitate to reach out. If you haven't been a Blackboard client or been exposed to Blackboard, would like to go into more depth or have more Q&A set type of questions with me, reach out. Glad to do that. Glad to do deep dive demos with anyone. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much for attending. Have a good day, guys.